Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, good afternoon, even sports fans, and welcome to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Got a lot of great interviews coming up today on High School Game Day as we look back at some of our athletes of the week, our country financial team of the week. And as always, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio here in Springfield, Missouri, and around the state. And a reminder, the Tip-Off Club this Monday coming up at 11:30. Coaches will begin speaking at noon. Had a great house last Monday. Had all four colleges represented and a couple of the Springfield public schools as well as Morrisville, Ozark, Rogersville. Springfield Catholic was there as well. So come by and join us every Monday at Pizza Ranch in Springfield. We'll run through some of the scores from last night on the girls' side. In the Marshfield Lady J Classic, it was Aurora over Forsyth, 50-37. These are girls' scores. In the Russellville tournament from last night, Russellville defeats Bell, and it was Bismarck over Valley. Boonville falls to Fatima, 72-35. These are not tournament games. And Bradleyville over School of the Ozarks, 50-41. In the 42nd annual Slater Wildcat Classic was Brunswick over Sweet Springs, 44-36. Bolivar girls go to Buffalo and they win 66-27. It was Carthage over Seneca, 76-28. Cassville defeats East Newton, 43-29. Fredericktown over Central Park Hills, 52-37. Clever hosts Webb City and they win 43-38. It was Crocker falling to Stoutland, 59-45. Dexter over Sykeston, 63-45. St. Francis Borgia defeats Duchesne, 41-39. Elsewhere, and I do apologize here, I'm switching screens a little bit. It was East Buchanan in the Hamilton tournament over Tarkio, 60-18. Exeter falls to Niagara, 55-40. Farmington over St. Genevieve, 65-27. Fordland defeats Morrisville, 57-55. Up in the Lindbergh Flyer Classic, Lindbergh defeats Francis Howell, 61-32. Elsewhere, it was Billings over Galena, 52-51. Golden City defeats Thomas Jefferson, 56-22. Golden City now 17-3 on the season. Truman defeats Grandview, 65-21. Grandview out of Hillsboro over Bourbon, 43-20. Monette defeats Greenwood, 60-48. It was Stoutland over Hayti, 59-36. Hazelwood Central defeats Jennings, 65-10. In the Keatsville tournament, Higbee over Southwest, Livingston County, 59-9. Holcomb hosted Caruthersville, and they win 66-11. Also, the Lindbergh Invitational, Jackson over MICDS, 36-25. In the I-44 Lady Classic at 11, and it was Lee Summit over Eldon, 84-73. Park Hill South goes to Liberty North and wins 56-36. Marceline over Scotland County, 49-36. Also in the Lindbergh tournament, Marquette over Helias, 66-58. Marshfield defeats Chadwick, 39-34. Miller Academy defeats KIPP, 75-21. Had a great opportunity this week, or actually today, to catch up with our athletes of the week. And we'll start with our girls' side. And we will hear first from Gracie Kelsey from East Buchanan in our Athlete of the Week segment.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you've tuned in today. And as always, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio and presented by Great Southern Bank, Doak Propane, the Bank of Billings, Central Bank of the Ozarks, LI Una, Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri State and Building Missouri as we go along, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, who reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Here in episode number 450, we welcome in from East Buchanan High School head coach Corey Elms and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week and new all-time leading career rebounder in school history, Gracie Kelsey. And Coach Elms, thanks for being a part of it today.
Thank you, and thanks for the chance to be able to talk about our team and particularly Gracie and the season that she's having.
Well, and as a team, you guys are having a tremendous season, 13-2 on the season. Tell us a little bit about East Buchanan and the start, a tremendous start. Now you're about 2/3 of the way through. Tell us a little bit about the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, we're kind of known for our defense. We like to play pressure defense and work really hard on that end. We talked about that last night on our win, just making sure we're the ones diving on the floor after loose balls and playing with a high level of intensity on the end of the floor. And then, just offensively, we've looked to be more balanced this year. And as teams have really started to focus on Gracie, we've tried to look for other opportunities to score. And we're starting to kind of hit our stride with that and have some younger players that are stepping up in the offensive column. And she has a pretty good point guard in her senior teammate, Kinsey Woodside, who helps distribute the ball and really kind of is our energy bus. So just a lot of good things going on right now. And we're playing for the tournament championship tomorrow at Hamilton Tournament against a good South Harrison team. And we take a lot of pride in our schedule and our KCI conference. So just continuing to try to play well down the stretch.
Hey, coming off of an 18-12 season a year ago, tell us a little bit about the seniors that you lost to graduation, who had to maybe step in and fill some of those roles.
Yeah, we had 2 seniors that graduated for us last year, our point guard, Maddie Jussin, and then a post player that came off the bench for us, and Megan Moeller. So, for those of us that don't know our story, we spent the first half of the season without 5 of our top 7 players. They were injured from either off-season sport activities or dealt with a couple things around Christmas time. And we really played, with trying to play some people in different roles. And then we had big minutes from our juniors, who are juniors this year as sophomores last year. And, Hillary Ellifritz was one of our leading scorers last year and shoots well from the perimeter. And Gina Ingus and Holly Kaler did a lot of great things defensively. So having the majority of our team back, led with Kinsey Woodside and as our point guard and the job that Gracie does on both ends of the floor. And those juniors have done some really good things for us this year. And then a few freshmen that are stepping in and playing really well for us too.
And just real quick, just for those maybe not familiar with your program, a little bit on your background. How long have you been there? Where did you come from? Where did you cut your teeth at, so to speak? And what's your role there at East Buchanan?
Sure. Well, I'm a Northwest Missouri girl. I've just been here my entire life. Spent a couple years in Virginia at Old Dominion University with a very successful high school boys basketball program, and just got an opportunity to watch Coach Tapmeyer at Northwest in my days there, who was the men's coach at Northwest. And a lot of things that we do defensively come from our time with Coach Tap, just watching him, and then having the opportunity to see some really good coaching out on the East Coast. So that's been helpful. This is a lot of years of coaching. Do I have to say how many? So, but
Yeah.
This is 12 years at East Buchanan. I spent 9 years at DeKalb High School and just in another Class 1 school in Northwest Missouri, and had an opportunity to be around really great kids in both programs, and just had a lot of buy-in from what we wanted to get accomplished. And, I feel like we've done some really amazing things with our program, and we have a lot of amazing kids that work hard for us. So Coming off our 2020 state championship here at East Buchanan when Gracie and Kinsey Woodside were both freshmen that year, had a lot of great kids in the upperclassmen that did some things for us just to make us very well balanced. And it's just been a good run here in the last few years, but we're always excited to be able to share what we like to do on the basketball side across the state.
Very good. Again, we're visiting with East Buchanan head girls basketball coach Corey Elms on our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week and new all-time leading career rebounder in school history at East Buchanan, Gracie Kelsey. And Coach Elms, tell us a little bit about Gracie and what makes her special.
Yeah, I think there's so many things that make Gracie special. She's her head might get a little big as I talk about her here. So, but no, she does a good job. She's just a great kid on and off the floor. The things that she does for us are a lot of those intangibles too that people don't recognize, but her ability to just change the tempo of a game on both ends of the floor. To be honest, in coaching over 20 years, she's our first true post player that I've ever had the opportunity to coach. And she just does a great job of using her body with her back to the basket. That's kind of a lost art anymore. But I think her ability to be able to do those things with her back to the basket have been huge. And then this year she stepped out and really shooting well from the perimeter for us and added that element to her game. Passes the ball incredibly well. In fact, last night we had to tell her, you need to keep looking to score. So she's distributing the ball really well to her teammates right now. And, one thing that I think stands out about her as a freshman, you noticed as I was, watching her play, there were some parts of her game where we know that we needed to get her to find that second, that second go-to move and kind of a counter move. And she really took that well as a coach. It's always nice to see that kids are able to handle constructive criticism and try to add an element to her game and a piece of that. And she's done that every year. And so that's been huge for us. And then defensively, her ability to block shots, her ability to, really be able to front somebody, play behind them, do some different things for us. She's been able to go out and play some pretty good guards. That's something we've asked her to do that have matched up size-wise with her. And it's just been good to have her on both ends of the floor and her leadership for us. So, a lot of positives. One thing about Gracie that some people don't realize is as we talk about her career stats, she missed her entire sophomore season due to an ACL injury. And so that was huge for her. I think that was a big one for her to step in a leadership role and have to see what it's like on the bench. I think kids can go either way on that. They can either decide to just kind of, sit there and just be kind of a non-existent piece to the puzzle, or they can use that to their advantage. And for her, that forced her to be more vocal as a leader, which we really needed her to do. And then it gave her just a different perspective on the game from, sitting on the bench and seeing that. And she was really instrumental in our juniors, who are our current juniors, and really helping them their freshman year when she's on that bench. And I think as you watch them, that's a key thing that she did for us when she didn't step on the floor for a single second. So that's been huge for us in the last 2 years.
All right. Well, Gracie, first off, on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevrolet, congratulations for being named a Chevrolet Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you. Thank you.
And question number one, do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm a mandated reporter for the Highway Patrol. So,
yes, absolutely.
And question number two, and Coach alluded to this a little bit with regards to your injury. And I've talked to a lot of kids, and I've dealt with injuries at the high school level, collegiate level. You typically you learn a lot about yourself and a lot about the game when you're forced to sit on the bench and watch it. What did you learn about yourself, and what did you learn about the game of basketball that sophomore year?
Well, definitely from the bench, I learned that, extra passes are important. You might think you have a wide open shot, but there's somebody next to you who's got an even better shot, an even better chance to make it. And so for me, that was really important because I was just kind of always used to just taking it and going. And then realizing from the bench, there's somebody, you have 5 people, there's 4 other people on your team. So one of them will be open and will have a way better shot than you will. And then just realizing, there's a pass, like if my back's to the basket, the opposite block is going to be open. And just, little things like that you wouldn't think about make a big deal. They were important to us being successful and getting more points. Definitely when it came to like rehab and stuff like that, I definitely realized that you cannot procrastinate it. Like going to physical therapy or having 4:30 in the morning workouts, you have to just get up and do it, and because you know that it's going to make you better. And maybe if you put 110% in it, you'll get back faster. And so that was really important for me to learn really early on.
And again, we're visiting with our Chevy O's of the Ozarks athlete of the week and new all-time leading career rebounder. Did you realize, number one, we also have breaking news. You have also scored your 1,500th point, which you were not aware of until this started.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. So I'm assuming you weren't aware that you were getting ready to break the all-time rebounding record. What were you aware of the number?
No, I had no idea. I really didn't even know the number. I just, at the end of the year at our banquets each year, she'll put like how many rebounds we had throughout the year. So I just kind of knew what I averaged. I had no idea that I broke it until after the game.
What and you obviously had no idea about the 1,500 because you just learned about that 5-10 minutes ago. But go back, from your freshman year through right now. Are there games that really stand out? Games that you'd like to go back and play again? And maybe it's a game that maybe you came up short. You thought, I'd like another shot at that. Or maybe it was a game going back to your freshman year of the state title that it was so much fun. But are there games that really stand out you'd like to play again?
Definitely my freshman year, we played Chillicothe at home, and then our Tipton game and Wellington Napoleon game. Our Chillicothe game we played my freshman year was not a very good game. I wish we would have played better because they were a very good team our freshman year, really good, and they just beat us really well. And then the state game, just the energy and the atmosphere, that I would love to play 100 of those games. And then just the pace that we were playing at, you were just running up and down the court the whole time. And to be playing with somebody like people of that high of competition, it's unmatched. And then the Wellington game, we were losing at halftime, and Coach Elms gave us a really big speech at halftime about, getting it together. And it was like the first time I'd ever seen some of our seniors start crying. It was because they didn't think that they were doing a very good job and that they were letting us down as underclassmen. And so that really stuck out to me because I was scared of them. I had never seen them show emotion like that before. And so that really put us into another drive to do better and, really want to get to the championship for them.
And Gracie, as you look back, who are some of those, and maybe they were former teammates, some of those upperclassmen maybe, or coaches or parents, or who's kind of influenced you the most in your style of play and your work ethic and maybe some of those leadership goals that you have?
Definitely the style of my play is from a former basketball coach named Juan Blackburn. He was this really big, he's a really big guy. He's 6'7". He used to play at Virginia, and what he loved to do was back to the basket. And he showed us so many moves, and he helped me develop quick footwork. And so I never really realized how important that was, when you had the ball in the paint, just to be fast and quick and get the ball up and make sure your arm's up. And so I credit a lot of my footwork and post moves to him because he spent hours and hours and hours with me in the gym. And then he also made me run a lot to, be that one forward who was in shape and stayed in shape. And then Coach Elms, the last 4 years, she's humbled me, and she's made me a really, really good player. She has allowed me to be able to be confident that I can shoot a three and that, I have the green light. I should shoot the three if I'm open. She works hard in practice and telling me, I'm a senior, and I don't have that many practices left or games of my senior season, and that I just need to keep being the leader that I need to be for the team. And then my parents, they do everything for me. They've given me these opportunities, to play after high school, and just their sacrifices for me to, go across the country to play during the summer. So If it weren't for the people in my life, I would not be where I'm at.
Gracie, if you could go back, if the 2023 Gracie Kelsey could go back to that freshman of 2019 and give her some advice, what advice would you give yourself?
It'd probably be definitely don't get on the four-wheeler in 2020. Stay off of it. You don't have to race your parents. It's fine. But it'd probably also be value the leadership that those seniors had the first 2 years while I was an underclassman. Definitely value the leadership that they showed and the confidence, because I don't think I valued it as much as I should have. And so it's made me a little more uncertain as I became an upperclassman. So it's definitely the leadership role.
Yeah. I'll give you a definition of a great leader. And this was given to me years ago in college. And a coach told me one time, a good leader is anyone who is doing anything worthy of being followed. And that has stuck with me. And it's tough to get up every morning. And my dad always told me, hey, you want to be successful today? Get up, make your bed. Thank God for waking you up. Tell somebody you love them and give something away, and you'll have a good day. Even if you don't have a good day, you're coming home to a made bed. Gracie, tell us a little bit about what your plans are for next year.
I'm gonna go play at Drury University in Springfield under Coach Egan. They have an amazing program and team, and so we start June 1st, and so it's coming up. It'll be quick, but I'm super excited. They're a very work heavy team. They pride themselves in their work ethic and their hard work, and so that's something that I really value, because offense, you have to score to win, but defense is really where it's at. So, and they love their defense.
Very good. Just saw them play last night.
Mm-hmm.
They played at Southwest Baptist University last night, and that's about a 9-iron from where I'm sitting. So it's pretty close. But once again, Coach Elms, thanks so much for helping set this up. I've greatly enjoyed the time here, and I'll get to see Gracie play in person next year. Maybe if you guys can make a little run here. I've always helped out. I've been an ambassador for Misha at the Final Four, so we'll get to see each other face to face. But Coach Helms, thank you so much.
Thank you, and thanks so much for the chance to highlight high school athletes. And we talked about that before, but just the opportunity that they get to kind of share their stories. I think it's important for all the young kids out there to be able to hear. The questions you asked her were great questions, and as someone that has a 4th grade daughter, I love the fact that my daughter gets to grow up around kids like Gracie. So thanks for the opportunity you give her to talk and for us to highlight our program.
You bet. Once again, Gracie, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, the Missouri State Highway Patrol, and Chevrolet, congratulations. Well-deserved honor, Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Have a great day, and God bless.
I believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Enjoy a fresh start to your meal at Pizza Ranch, where the salad bar is always included with your buffet. Every day you'll find garden fresh greens, colorful veggies, and sides for every appetite. It's the most refreshing way to balance out a meal while leaving plenty of room for your other buffet favorites. Convenient, fast, and fresh. It's the Pizza Ranch Salad Bar. Mmm.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a time like this, in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's a lot better now.
It was like a huge weight lifted.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on Friday, January the 27th, 2023. We ran through some of the girls' scores from last night just to highlight some of the boys' scores of the next Invitational Tournament. It was Troy Buchanan over Springfield Central, 79-73. New Madrid Central defeats Hillcrest, 62-48. Logan Rogersville over Cape Notre Dame, 65-56. Nixa defeats Marquette, 70-56. So tonight, you'll get to match up and see Springfield Central and Hillcrest match up in game number 1. And then Cape Notre Dame will take on Marquette in game number 2. And then you'll have Troy Buchanan and New Madrid Central. And then Logan Rogersville will take on Nixa in the nightcap. Elsewhere on the boys' side in the Bolivar tournament, Bolivar defeats Branson 75-55. Republic over West Plains 62-50. Springfield Elias defeats Camdenton 73-66, and Thayer over Stratford. And in the Sparta tournament, it was Mansfield over Fairgrove 59-43, and Sparta advances as well in that tournament. And we'll go now to our country financial team of the week. I got to catch up with Sparta head basketball coach Derek Link and a couple of his players that recently went over some milestones. So we will tune into that now on the Missouri Sports Network.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you've tuned in. We're coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio. Pizza Ranch hosts the tip-off clubs throughout the state. And this Monday, we will be in Springfield once again at the Battlefield Mall. And to that end, we want to welcome in Sparta head basketball coach Derek Link, who will be in attendance Monday. So if you'd like to see him in person, come out to Pizza Ranch here, sponsored by Central Bank of the Ozarks. Coach Link, hey, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having us. Really appreciate all the work you guys do and supporting high school athletics.
You guys have had a tremendous season. Lots of bells and whistles, a little Hoosier-type activity going on in the blue and gold when you upset Bolivar. You're 16-4 on the season. Kind of tell us a little bit about this season from your standpoint.
Man, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of memories that we've made going into this year. We kind of knew we would have a good group coming in, and then our kids just decided to battle. They decided to come in and work every day and get better, and they wanted to make this a special year. And you know, we've had some bumps along the road with 16-4, but at the same time, we've learned from everything. We just kept moving forward.
And you're coming into this season, a group that went 18-11 a year ago.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you lost to graduation, what you had to replace, and who's had to kind of step up and fill that, maybe position-wise or points-wise or assist-wise.
Well, when it came to graduation, we lost two kids who are really good role players for us last year and good leaders. They brought a lot of great practice and energy and enthusiasm. But when it came down to guys who we really played, we brought everybody back. So we were really in a fortunate position where we brought back all five starters. brought back our 6-man and brought back a lot of our younger kids. We had a lot of freshmen that kind of came on at the end that sat on our bench for us. They're now sophomores. They're starting to get a little bit of time every once in a while. But for the most part, we brought everybody back, so we knew that this could be an opportunity for us.
Again, we're visiting with Sparta head boys basketball coach Derek Link here, and with junior Jacob Lafferty and senior Dexter Loveland as part of our Country Financial Team of the Week. And Coach, and we'll talk about Jacob first, the underclassman, so to speak. Tell us a little bit about his game and what makes him special.
The thing about Jake is a lot about his own work ethic. He came in as a freshman, was put on the scene. He started as a freshman for us, and he just got better ever since that year. He has taken the initiative himself to improve his own game, and that's something that you don't see a whole lot, and especially in our high school kids right now. He's really expanded his ability to shoot the basketball, handle the ball a little bit, and make decisions on the drive. But a big thing also is he wants to rebound the basketball. He's got the potential to be an 1,000 rebound guy as well, on top of a 1,000, 1,500 point scorer. So that's pretty special. And he's one of the hardest workers in the gym every single day. So when you have guys like that who are growing in your program, starting as freshmen, and then now as a junior, it kind of just helps with our younger kids see, like, this is how we're supposed to work.
Jacob, thanks for being part of the show today.
I know. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Jacob, tell us a little bit about your game and maybe how it has it changed from your freshman year to your junior year. And I'm not talking about your type of game, but maybe your responsibilities and roles. How have they changed?
So freshman year, it was mostly just, rebound, get offensive rebounds, stay down low, post up, and kick out threes and just rebound. And then sophomore year kind of was the same thing. And, I had to take a step and try to make everyone try to work as hard as possible. And then this year it's more of a try to get as much people involved and make the right play all times.
As you look at that, and Coach mentioned that the opportunity maybe to get 1,000 rebounds, and that would have to be among your school's all-time probably leaders if you pulled down 1,000 rebounds. Talk a little bit about that tenacity, because rebounding is a want to. Tell us a little bit about where that comes from.
I don't know. I just want the ball in my hands. So when I see it up in the air, I want to be the only one that can go up and grab it. So.
And you recently scored your 1,000th career point earlier this season. Were you aware of that number, or did you know it was coming?
Yeah, I was told that the game before, or so. Yeah. We didn't think I was going to get to that game because, So,
what'd you have to do?
We rolled into Stratford and he needed 33 in the championship game of the Stratford tournament, and he wound up getting 33 for us.
Oh, okay. What was the basket that tied or got to the 1,000? You remember that?
And then one off of an offensive rebound off of a free throw.
Very good. Very good. Well, Jacob, as you come into this season, and just by nature of what I do, I look at schedules and think, okay, I'd like to play or be at that game and be at that game. What were some games coming into this season that you really look forward to?
Hollister, Springfield Catholic, just those two I can think of, and Blue and Gold, I guess, but that's not really necessarily a game.
Yeah, and going back to that Hollister game, and that was the beginning of this month on January the 6th. That's a 1-point victory. Tell us a little bit about that game, and it was at their place, and a very good team.
Honestly, my favorite thing in that game that was crazy about was just the atmosphere playing in it. You got everyone screaming, the fans, everyone was getting up. They were yelling at everything. But the best thing about it was we ran this play before, like the day before, and we could not get it down in practice. Like we did not get it down at a singular time with him. And we go up and we run it with Walker, and Walker runs it perfectly fine. And, he gets it down, and we win by 1 point off of a game winner. So it was pretty crazy.
Very good. Did you have any goals coming into this season, maybe team goals or personal goals coming into the 22-23 season?
Honestly, it was literally just try to be a 20-point win team and try to go to the Final Four or win state. But, yeah.
We got a lot of work to do to get there still. We got a lot of good teams that we got to try to find out a way to beat first.
Yeah, I tell you what, you got a big one tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Yes,
we'll
we
talk
do.
about that. But Jacob, again, thanks for coming in and being part of the show. And Coach, you've got Dexter Loveland sitting there behind. He got his 1,000th career point. Tell us a little bit about Dexter.
Dexter's another kid who, just like Jake, his game just continues to improve and improve and improve. And I think as he's gone on, he's gotten more confident in who he is and his game himself. And you can really see those games when he realizes that, hey, I can be aggressive here and do a lot of work for our team. And if it wasn't for Jake, sometimes I think Dexter would have been in 1,000 rebound club as well. I mean, they both battle each other for rebounds. And if you watch film, sometimes Dexter will be 1 or 2 rebounds away from a double-double. And sometimes those rebounds are ones where Jake just ripped out of his hands or got there first. So, I mean, they're both extremely competitive kids. They do a good job of being able to score the basketball, but they rebound and they defend. So,
Dexter, hey, thanks for joining the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Dexter, tell us a little bit about your game. Now, you're a senior, so go back to your freshman year, and how has your role changed?
Well, I went from being the box out rebound kid to actually playing more offense, being able to shoot the ball more, helping bring the ball up the floor, being a more role important guy in the team.
And what goals, you're being a senior, do you have goals, coming into this year, team goals, personal goals?
Like Coach and Jake both said, Final Four, state, be 20 wins. And then my personal goal was score 1,000 and play better defense.
That was a big one. Play better defense. Yeah. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of been a staple throughout the conversations today. Dexter, if you could go back, the 2023, the senior Dexter Loveland could go back to that freshman Dexter Loveland and give yourself some advice. What advice would you give yourself, knowing what you know now? What would you go back and tell that freshman Dexter Loveland?
Work on my shot, because I did a lot of that sophomore and junior year, and it would have greatly helped having it my freshman year.
What are some games, in your history that you'd like to go back and play again? And it may be a big game that you won, that Jacob didn't steal a bunch of rebounds from you and you got that double-double, or a game maybe you fell short and you felt like, hey, we should have won that game. I'd like to play that again. As you look back, are there games you'd like to go, hey, let's take another shot at that one?
We had a game here where we played Chadwick. Was that last year or the year before? Where we had 30 turnovers and ended up losing. I want that game back.
Name which game we played against Chadwick where we didn't turn it over 30 times.
Good point. But I want that game back. The Stratford tournament last year. The freshman year tournament. Definitely the Forsyth tournament. Not Forsyth tournament, where we played Forsyth in the Walnut Grove tournament.
But all those games and tournaments have allowed us to grow and make us the people and team we are now.
You bet. Now, Dexter, you got a big one coming up tomorrow.
Yep.
I know you've looked at film. I know you know their families and all. I mean, you've got to know you're familiar with Mansfield. Mm-hmm. What are you going to have to do tomorrow? If I could pick if Coach could pick one stat that you're going to win tomorrow, that's going to be the difference in the game, what stat is that going to be?
If Coach Shelton's watching this, he's not allowed to. He's got to turn this off right now. He's got to turn it off.
Probably it'd have to be either rebounds or points of the paint.
There you go. All right. Very good. Well, Dexter, again, congratulations for being part of the Country Financial Team of the Week. And Coach Link, as you go into that game with Mansfield, it's a huge game. I mean, it's going to be packed. It's going to be at home.
Yeah.
tell us about what your expectations are. I mean, are there going to be people? I mean, they're going to be throwing babies in the aisles.
I mean, I don't know. We're just excited that we're going to get to play in our high school gym again. The first couple rounds we had to play over in the middle school gym just because we had some water damage over Christmas break. So getting the okay this morning to be able to play in our home gym was great. So we get to be back here and play. So there's excitement about that. And we're just excited about the opportunity. Mansfield's really good. They've got a lot of players that can score it. They rebound it, they guard at a high level. And Coach Sheldon does a phenomenal job with those kids. And I know Mansfield's going to be ready to play. They're going to bring a good crowd, and it's going to be a fun high school basketball atmosphere.
Yeah, it's going to prepare you for the atmosphere you're going to see in districts because you're in a very tough district. Where will that district be played?
That district's going to be at Fair Grove this year.
Fair Grove, and they're having a good season. You got Greenwood, who just seems to just keep reloading.
Yeah.
But you got Spokane and Stratford in that district as well. That's just going to be a tough district.
Yeah, it is. There's 5 teams who can compete to win that thing, and we just hope that we're healthy and that we're playing good basketball at the end and give ourselves a chance to come out with the district title. But we got to worry about what we're doing right now. I mean, Mansfield's pretty good. Stratford's going to be right there. They're going to be really good at the end. Fair Grove's just going to get better as each game goes on. Greenwood's going to be Greenwood. They're going to be good. They're going to do what they do, and they're going to do it well. And then we'll see Spokane at the end of the year, and we're hoping that's for a conference championship game if we handle our business. So, yeah, I mean, all these games going forward are preparing us for ultimately what our end goal is.
Very good. Coach Link, I greatly appreciate you setting this up. I know you had to get some guys out of class and get in the gym, but Dexter and Jacob, congratulations on the tremendous season so far. Best of luck as you go forward, and hopefully we'll get to visit with you guys again down the road.
Thanks for having us, man.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And keep it right here at MissouriSportsNetwork.com.
Leave banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Enjoy a fresh start to your meal at Pizza Ranch, where the salad bar is always included with your buffet. Every day you'll find garden fresh greens, colorful veggies, and sides for every appetite. It's the most refreshing way to balance out a meal while leaving plenty of room for your other buffet favorites. Convenient, fast, and fresh. It's the Pizza Ranch Salad Bar. Mmm.
The qualities in a truck that are most important are reliability, just really great function.
Having a truck is pretty much a necessity to getting to most of these locations. Oftentimes it's narrow, steep, loose, rough, rocky roads.
Having a truck is essential to every part of what we do, from picking up material for the home to delivering the home.
Always carrying something, pulling something.
It's something that we use every single day here.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Not only is Country Financial our insurance, but they treated us like family.
Relationships are the single most important piece of the puzzle. We always ask this question: what is the right thing to do?
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network here on High School Game Day. I'm Guy Newcomb. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Looking ahead to tonight's games, and we'll start on the girls' side. Afton will host McClure tonight. Stanberry will be at Albany. Ellington will be at Alton. Climax Springs is at Appleton City. Nivinger is at Atlanta. Oak Park is at Blue Springs. Hurley is at Bradleyville. Lee Summit West will be at Carl Junction. Not at Carl Junction. They'll be at Lebanon in the I-44 Lady Classic. Sheldon is at Chilhowie. Principia is at Christian High School. And the 45th annual Clinton Girls Basketball Tournament at Clinton will be Smith Cotton traveling to play the host school. Wheaton will be at Joplin to play College Heights Christian. St. Pius, the 10th out of Festus, will be at Crystal City. St. Pius, the 10th, 16-3 on the season. Walnut Grove is at East Newton. Carthage will be at El Dorado Springs. Looks to be a good one there. El Dorado Springs, 14-4 on the season. And Class 6 Carthage is 9-8. Parkway South is at Eureka. Humansville is at Fairplay. Greenwood will be at Fordland tonight. Fort Zumwalt North will be at Fort Zumwalt South. Timberland will be at Fort Zumwalt West. Marion C. Early will be at Greenfield. That'll be a clash. Marion C. Early has spent some time ranked in Class 2. Greenfield is 15-4 on the season. They're Class 1, District 4 there. Clearwater is at Greenville. Everton will be at Halfway. Kirksville is at Hannibal. Orick is at Hardin Central. New Haven will take on Herman in the Herman Invitational. They're at Herman. Dadeville is at Hermitage. Fort Zumwalt East is at Holt. St. Thomas Aquinas out of Overland Park will be at Jeff City tonight. Northeast Cairo is at La Plata. Clayton will be at Lafayette Wildwood. Liberty is at Lee Summit. Valley is at Lesterville. St. James is at Licking. St. James, a Class 4 District 3 team. Licking 16-3, Class 3 District 10. So that game will be at Licking. Had an opportunity earlier today to catch up with another young lady on our Athlete of the Week segment, Adeline Coling of Helias Catholic, on the event of scoring her 1,000th career point. Here's that interview.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad that you've tuned in, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio. Pizza Ranch, with more than 7 locations across the state of Missouri. They host the Scoreboard Guy tip-off clubs, quarterback clubs, and soon-to-be lead-off clubs around the state of Missouri. Come in for the best fried chicken in the state of Missouri and all the pizza and ice cream you can eat. Also presented by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank, with more than 100 locations in 6 states, cares as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. Doak Propane and Liuna Labor's Local 663. Labor's Local 663, building Missouri and building Missouri State. Pleased to be joined now by Elias Crusader head women's basketball coach, Coach Garrett Wiggins. And Coach Wiggins, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, anytime. Appreciate you having us on.
Coach, this is a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week, and we've got Adeline Kelling there on occasion of her 1,000th career point. But before we visit with Adeline, you guys, you're 15-4 on the season, and you're up next in the Central Bank of the Ozark, Central Bank shootout. Tell us a little bit about your season up to this point.
Yeah, the season started out, about as well as you can hope for. Winning the Comic Classic in Fatima for the 2nd time in a row, and going on the road a lot and playing a lot of top 10 schools in Class 5 and Class 6. A lot of big wins early, especially right before that new year, and then after the new year we've kind of been up and down a little bit. Kind of hitting that mid grind season. You start playing 20 some games, you get in that kind of mode where it's just the long basketball season that we have, it can wear on you. But we're taking this weekend off, and hope to get rolling again. And this is the point in the year where you really want to start playing your best basketball. And I think this point in the year, after the grind kind of wears off, you start getting your eyes set on districts, and that's where we're at right now, is trying to play good basketball as we roll into February and March.
24-8 a year ago, you finished 3rd in the state. Talk about what you kind of had to replace, coming into this season, due to graduation, and who's kind of stepping in and filling those roles.
Yeah, so we're kind of a unique situation where our 3 seniors that we graduated last year were big key players for us, but they all came off the bench. So we're fortunate enough to have all of our starters back for this year, and I think that's just a huge experience and confidence booster for these girls who have been there, done that. And we talk about all the time, though, it's going to be hard to repeat that, especially when we have to move up another class from 4 to 5 this year. But we have a lot of experience in our starting 5. They played at JQH last year. A lot of pressure for us, and a lot of excitement and fun. And I think the girls, really, really want to get back there and do that again. And I think that's the reason why we kind of started the season off like we did.
You Class 5, District 5. You got Capital City, Jeff City, Pacific, Summit, Union, Washington, and Windsor. Do you get an opportunity to play? I mean, obviously with Jeff City, Capital City being right there, you get an opportunity to see, most of the members of your district.
Yeah, we've had an opportunity to go watch a few of those teams too. They played close around where we could make a trip up there and watch them live. And obviously, being in the CMAC, we'll play Cap City and Jeff City, so get a good measuring stick there. But it's teams that we're familiar with. We've played them in the past, or we know a little bit of things about them, and it's going to be a tough district, especially when you have to go on the road. Our district's kind of spread out a little bit, so but that shouldn't be anything new for us. We're pretty used to traveling. The past 3 years I've been a head coach, I feel like we travel all across the state, and sometimes it's fun, especially when you're on the winning end, and hopefully we get that done come March.
And again, visiting with Elias Crusader head girls basketball coach Garrett Wiggins on our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week, Adeline Kelling, on the occasion of her 1,000th career point. Coach, talk about what about Adeline makes her special.
It's just all around player. I mean, we rely on Adeline a lot, and she does have a good support cast around her with the four girls that she starts with, and the handful of girls who come off the bench. But the kids put in the work, and that's the only way you score 1,000 points. Any 1,000-point scorer you look at, throughout the last 10 years, you can't say they haven't put in the work. She's put in the work, even when it's you're not watching her and when eyes aren't on her. She's always shooting. Her rebounding has been phenomenal the past 2 years, and you just see the growth from when she started as a freshman. She started every game as a freshman. I don't know that she's missed a game yet in her high school career. So, it's just a testament to her work ethic and her skill level that, it's our first 1,000-point scorer, I think, since 1995 here.
Wow. Well, Adeline, on behalf of the Missouri Sports Network, Missouri State Highway Patrol, and Chevrolet, congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet, on being named an Athlete of the Week. And tell us, first question is, do you always wear your seatbelt?
I do. Yes.
Very good. And going into this, were you aware that you were approaching that 1,000 points?
Yeah, I knew I was pretty close. Well, I had a couple different numbers, so I wasn't really sure where I was, but I knew I was somewhere around the range.
Yeah. What happened when you hit that, or were you not made aware of it until after the game?
No, I hit it, and I didn't know my mom had shirts made, so she had her 1,000, like an 1,000 on her shirt, and they had balloons, and it was honestly great. They were the best whenever I hit it.
And who was that against, and what kind of shot?
It was a layup. It was against what was the team we played for? Maplewood. Yeah. And I drove baseline and I shot a layup.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about your career. Have you been, what position do you play, and has that changed over your career, and has your game changed?
I play a forward, but I wouldn't really consider it a forward. I kind of come in and out. My freshman year, I was mostly in the paint, and then since then, I've kind of backed out and been shooting more threes and stuff. So it's changed a lot, just from my three to being able to step out and hit them, which I couldn't do in my freshman year. There wasn't the same.
Now, Adeline, you're a senior.
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay, very good. Very good. So as you look forward coming into your junior year, did you have any, team goals or personal goals coming into this season? Obviously, to get back to the Final Four would be part of it.
Yeah, I would say a big one for team-wise was to get back to the Final Four. I think that's everyone's goal on our team. And for me personally, hitting my 1,000 points was a big one.
Are there games as you look, you look at a schedule, and I do this just by the nature of what I do. This is a game I'd like to be at, at top of the list maybe was probably that Elias Catholic Republic game, on the girls' side. Are there games that you look forward to when you see your schedule? Maybe it's a rivalry game. Maybe someone on the other team.
Yeah, there's a lot of games, especially with Republic. I knew one of the girls played on our 17 EYBL, so it was going to be a really good game, and I was excited for it. I was excited to go down to Springfield and play and just see how we did.
Now, and I know you're just a junior, but just have you looked at maybe what your options might be following your senior year?
I definitely want to play basketball in college. That's a big option for me.
As you look back on your career, who has kind of influenced you? Maybe it's upperclassmen, your freshman year. Maybe it's a junior high coach. Maybe, your current coach obviously has had an influence. Parents, who are some of the people that have really influenced you?
I think my biggest influence were probably my dad, just because he wants it just as bad, if not more than I do. And he's constantly in the gym with me and making sure I get better. And he definitely helps a lot in my career.
What is something right now that you feel like you're doing really well? And then tell us something that maybe you feel like you need to improve on to maybe make that jump to the next level.
I think right now, especially in the past couple of games, just being able to find the open girl is something I've really done good at, and something I'm struggling with a little bit is my defense, if I'm being honest. That's definitely, I'm working on it, but still not where it should be.
And Coach Wiggins, were those accurate statements?
Yeah. I mean, and you coach for 100 years, and every year you're going to have a girl who needs to work on defense. So it's nothing new, but she works really hard, and definitely one of the girls that gets us where we need to go.
Foul trouble a problem?
She's actually been pretty good this year. Her freshman year, she had to learn the referees don't like you touching people. So she's definitely gotten better.
Very good. Very good. Well, Adeline, again, on behalf of Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations for being named an Athlete of the Week.
Thank you.
And Coach, kind of the same question we asked Adeline. What are some things right now, team-wise, that you guys feel like you're doing really well, and maybe what are some things that you need to work on if you're going to make another run to the Final Four?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're struggling with something early in the year, so you try to fix it, and then something else falls apart. Right now, I think our passing's gotten a lot better from where it started early in the year. We need to get back to practicing and figuring how to put teams away. I feel like we had the lead especially last night, for majority of the game, and then the last 4 or 5 minutes it kind of got away from us. So these girls are equipped to do all that, and we're gonna take care of it in practice and hopefully get ready for Saturday and get back in that win column.
Are you guys relatively healthy right now for this point of the season?
Yeah, relatively. We are missing one of our starters. She's probably our 4 or 5 girl who rebounds a lot, out with pneumonia this past week during the couple of games in the tournament. But we did lose one of our sophomores last night with another knee injury. God bless her. This will be her 3rd knee injury in less than 2 years. So we're going to have to, search real deep and go into that bench a little bit and find some girls who can step on the floor and contribute.
Outstanding. Well, Coach Wiggins, I greatly appreciate you setting this up on short notice. Always great to talk with you folks there at Helias Catholic. I've always enjoyed it. And Adeline, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Guy.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Keep it right here at the Missouri Sports Network. Hey, special thanks there to Coach Garrett Wiggins at Helias Catholic, and to all the coaches who have been part of high school game day today. It's approaching 6 o'clock, and as always, hey, if you're out in your vehicle, hey, I hope that you got your seatbelts on, and hey, take that few seconds, check around your car, make sure everybody else has got their seatbelt on as well. Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, here alongside, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio, and lots of great games going on tonight, but there's probably a bigger game that's on the minds of everyone here in Southwest Missouri, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs playing Sunday night in the AFC Championship game. We'll get to that in a bit, but I had an opportunity earlier today to track down Derek Rocket from the Higbee Tigers basketball program and his head coach, Tanner Burton, and talk a little bit about his remarkable career that's going on right now, over 1,500 points in his career. He's just a junior, putting up some tremendous numbers, and had an opportunity to catch up with him earlier today. And here is the interview that took place earlier on this Friday, January the 27th. Enjoy.
The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, alongside. Certainly glad you have tuned in. And as always, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio and presented by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. They care as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, member FDIC. LiUNA Labor's Local 663. Building Missouri State, building Missouri. LiUNA Labor's Local 663. Going north to Higbee High School, and the head coach for head boys basketball coach at Higbee, Tanner Burton. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
You bet, Coach. And number one, you guys are off tremendous start. You're 2/3 basically of the way through the season, 17-0 on the season. Tell us a little bit about the team and how it's gone up to this point.
Well, we're 17-2. 2 losses come to a Sacred Heart team coming off back-to-back tournament weeks, and lost to Newburgh, which we kind of spun together a game at 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and traveled 2 hours and 20 minutes southeast on a Monday, and played a competitive, good squad. Just to come up short. We've played a lot of good basketball so far this season. Started off the season with the Northwestern Tournament Championship, and we're headed into a pretty good week here. We're going to play Wellsville Middletown. It's coming off a Final Four Saturday for a tournament championship at Keatsville, and we got Brunswick that's going to decide the conference championship, and then we're going to go and play Van Far, who's a solid Class 2 squad at Harrisburg at the Ramey Invitational next Friday. So we got a lot of good basketball coming up, so it's going to push us, and we're excited to see how this goes down the stretch.
Coach, tell us a little bit about last season and what you had to replace coming into this season due to graduation.
Yeah, ultimately last year we went 26-3, lost in the district championship to Wellsville Middletown, who went on to the Final Four. We lost 4 starters, so we come back. Derek's our only starter on this squad that returns, and obviously I think there was a lot of question marks. We kind of threw all the guys to the wolves this summer. We went to Raleigh, we went to Stratford, and we played some big schools this summer to push us and make sure we were everybody was ready to step up to the challenge. And I think thus far I think everybody's kind of exceeded what probably the outsiders thought we would do. And so obviously when you're doing stuff like that, that's pretty special. And so our big mentality is just keep grinding. Doesn't matter what we got as long as we're all on the same page. And these young men are all owning it. And obviously this young man right here is doing a tremendous job leading this squad. And so when you've got something like that, it's pretty special.
Yeah, being geographically challenged as I am, you might kind of give the viewers just a little bit of an idea of where you're located and maybe some of the other teams in your conference.
Sure. So we're actually about a half hour north of Columbia and about 15 minutes southwest of Moberly, so north central Missouri. Our conference, ironically, we are the furthest east. We play teams over as far west as like Bramer, Hardin Central, Breckenridge, Southwest Ludlow. So we've got conference trips to go 2 hours to the west, and our closest is about 40 minutes or so to Keatsville is our closest probably conference opponent. So it stretches about 2 hour span to the west and a Class 1 conference.
And you mentioned you got the tournament championship coming up at the end of this week, which we are at the end of this week. But tell us a little bit about your opposition there and what you're going to have to do to come out on top.
Yeah, Wellsville's been a good opponent for us. Last year we lost to them by 7 in the championship of the Keatsville tournament. We kind of played at our speed. Then in the district title game, I think we fell by 4 and like a 34-38 game. And so ultimately, Coach Lasman likes to play a slow, methodical style. And so if we allow that pace to be dictated by them, if they get an early lead, they will run as much time off the clock as they can. And, oftentimes when his teams got to the postseason, that shot clock discussion came up a whole lot. And it's a premier example of why that happens. And so he's willing to play, either way. But I would say against us tomorrow, it's going to be as slow and steady as it can be played. So our challenge is how do we make sure we don't allow that pace to unfold that way, I guess.
Again, we're visiting with Higbee Tigers head boys basketball coach Tanner Burton and our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week Junior, Derek Rocket. Coach, tell us a little bit about Derek and what makes him special.
Well, you just look at Derek, he's a competitor. He would tell you that his best sport's baseball. And so for a kid that, that's his mentality, the reality is he's an extremely special young man on the basketball court. He's an elite athlete overall. When you look at what he does on the baseball field here, I mean, if he was to do cross country and track, there's no doubt in my mind he would be a all-state kind of kid. But the reality is he just loves basketball and baseball, and he owns it. And that passion is just something you can't dictate. I've told him, and I've told many coaches, that it's like having a coach on the floor. Oftentimes this young man just knows he's a step ahead of everybody else. And so that maturity and that mindset and just his work ethic just separates him. And so for a kid that just demands so much of himself, to get the reward and see the success he's seen, I think that's a really positive thing. And that's what you want, because you preach to young kids. And, as I coach in the future, I'll preach to kids about how much time and effort he put in and the results that followed. And I think that's really special. And oftentimes you get kids that have the ability and they don't put in the work. And so this is one of those young men that has both and does both. And he's not satisfied with where he's at. And, that's what I've said. His freshman year, I said there was 3 young men on that team that scored a lot. And if you didn't have all of them, one of them would score 30 points a game. And here we are. Last 6, 7, 8 games, he's been averaging almost 37 points a game. And so when you do stuff like that, that's pretty insane. And for a junior, it's pretty special. And, the future's bright at Higbee.
Derek, hey, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
And on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, congratulations on being named an Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, it's an honor.
And my first question has to be, because I'm a mandated reporter, so do you always wear your seatbelt?
Yes, always.
Very good. Now take us back into here recently. You went over 1,500 points. You're at 1,543, and I don't believe that includes last night's game. But number one, did you realize you were approaching that number?
No, I don't really focus on career points or early points in a season at all. It's more just I go out, do what needs to be done to win. I don't really focus on the total I have.
Well, and Coach mentioned, over the past several games, you've been averaging in that mid-30s, 37 points a game. Tell us what's working really well for you right now.
Well, right now, so we started the season, and I had never been really the guy to score a lot of points. But as the season went, I kind of figured out the certain spots and when I need to take my shot, and it's kind of really played out well toward the latter half.
Well, and it's 17-2 on the season. You've played in 62 games that you've came out on top of, 62 career wins, just 12 losses. It's 84%. What are some things right now as a team this season that you feel like your team is doing really well and you're doing really well?
I think we out hustle that other team every game. It seems like we want to win more, mainly.
Yeah.
We play defense.
You got 27 blocks, in your career as well. Tell us a little bit about who's influenced you, who's had the most influence over it. Maybe parents. It may be someone you went to school with as a freshman that was an upperclassman that kind of helped mold you, and of course your coaching staff. Tell us about those influencers in your life.
Yeah, probably my freshman year, we had a senior, Keaton Redifer. He kind of taught us a lot. He had been playing for 4 years, and he was a scorer with us. Probably family, I got my dad. He's helped me my whole life through youth basketball, and I got an uncle, Matt Bowles. He talks to me a lot about basketball, and it seems I've learned a lot from him.
Coming into this season, did you have any personal goals or team goals that you wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, I was probably 32-0 was the main goal I was thinking of, but we fell a little short there. I just like to win.
Were there games on your schedule that and tonight or this next game may be one of them that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, tonight's a big one. The Sacred Heart was a big one that I felt like we needed that win. Probably Van Far and Harrisburg. It's always fun to play there.
Very good. Are these games now, a lot of guys, and you're a baseball guy, I'm a baseball guy, you're warming up in the, the bullpen, for example, and you feel like, you're really on, or you're taking BP and you think, man, I'm seeing the ball well. The basketball players go through that where you think, I'm not going to miss a shot tonight. I mean, are there games where you really feel like, hey, I've got it tonight?
Oh, for sure. Some days in warm-ups, it feels like you can't miss. And some days in warm-ups feels like you can't make anything, but come game time, something just clicks and it's there.
You bet. Well, Derek, again, a tremendous start here to your this season, but also to your career. You still got, a third of your season left this year. You've got entire next year as well. But just wanted to reach out and have an opportunity to visit with you and congratulate you for the award.
Yep, thank you.
You bet. Coach, and again, we're visiting with the Higbee Tigers and their head coach, Tanner Burton, and Athlete of the Week, Derek Rocket. But, Coach, you've got a big game tonight, tournament championship. What are you going to have to do tonight to come out on top?
I think it's just we got to work hard for 4 quarters, and I think if we put in 4 quarters of our quality basketball, I think there's no doubt, and I think that's just got to be our mindset going in. These young men know what it takes to win and win at a high level, and so the reality is we all just have to make sure we come out and we bring everything we can to the table, and if we do that, we'll be successful.
You bet. Well, gentlemen, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here today. I know, Coach, you were not at school today and had to head up and get this worked out, but I really appreciate it. And again, Derek, congratulations on behalf of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and Chevrolet.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Hey, tremendous catching up with Derek Rocket there at Higbee High School, and Coach Tanner Burton kind enough to set that up. And thanks to all the coaches today. We couldn't do this without the coaches being able and being willing to set this up and get the kids out of class. Had an enjoyable day visiting with and catching up with a lot of our athletes of the week, team of the week there at Sparta, and looking forward to tonight's action. Keep it right here at MissouriSportsNetwork.com. You can also follow us at Scoreboard Guy or at Missouri _Sports, and you'll get all the scores coming updated tonight throughout the evening. Coming up next, we track down, and we are the Missouri Sports Network, so we track down the publisher and the lead beat writer for the ChiefsDigest.com, and we'll be playing that interview here coming up shortly. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.